Hey guys, so it's Miss Timpson here, and I just wanted to record a quick video to help you guys review for your test. That is on Thursday. Okay, it's on multiplying fractions. So each of the fractions in the word problems you are going to multiply. So we're going to look at a couple word problems together. First, let's look at example A. The Garcia family volunteers at the Chestnut Street Community Garden. One half of the garden is used for growing vegetables. A fourth of the vegetable section is used for growing tomatoes. What fraction of the garden is used for growing tomatoes? So one thing that is important is for you to picture this in your head. If you have half of a garden and it's used for growing vegetables, a fourth of that half is specifically for tomatoes. That's why this is a multiplying fractions problem. It's a fourth of a half. So the problem that we're going to solve is 1/2 times 1/4. And this one's pretty simple. Top times top, bottom times bottom. You are done. Okay? Miss Garcia picked 4/5 of a pound of tomatoes from the garden. She used 5/6 of what she picked to make a batch of salsa. How many pounds of tomatoes did Miss Garcia use to make her salsa? So you're picking 4/5 of the tomatoes, so that's how many was picked total. Okay, but of those 4/5, she is only using 5/6 of the 4/5 to make a batch of salsa. That's why this is a multiplying fractions problem. She didn't take 4/5 and add it or subtract the 5/6. She didn't divide the 4/5 into equal groups or share it equally. She is using 5/6 of the 4/5 to do something. So you're going to multiply the top times the top, which is 20. 5 times 6 is 30. And a quick trick, if you have an answer that has a 0 in the numerator, the top, and a 0 in the bottom, the denominator, then you can actually just cancel out those zeros. And that is a quick way of simplifying. Okay? So if there was 2 zeros up there, I could cancel both zeros. If there was 3 zeros on the top and 2 zeros on the bottom, I could only cancel 2 zeros, right? You have to have a 0 on top and bottom, both, to be able to cancel that. So we're going to scroll down just a little bit, look at a couple more problems. 1/6 of the garden is used for growing petunias. 3/4 of the petunias are pink. So you have 1/6 and 1/6 of the petunias are pink. You have 1/6 of the garden is growing petunias, and 3/4 of the 1/6, is pink. The of is really the key word here for multiplying. Top times top, 1 times 3 is 3, bottom times bottom, 6 times 4 is 24. Now on this problem, you were able to simplify. And if you're still unsure of when do I need to simplify? Well, if you write the numbers that go into 3 and you write the numbers that go into 24, and you have a number that each of them have in common, which in this case is 3, then that means you have to simplify. So if you're not sure, we should see you drawing out this chart. Some of you guys know your multiplication facts so well that you might just pick up on it really fast, because 3 goes into 3 and 3 also goes into 24. So 1/8 is the answer. Okay, so that's a couple of examples of word problems that you are going to see on your test. Now let's look at some different word problems. These are a little more complex, okay? Moving up a level. Patsy's Pizzeria sold 3 and 5/6 vegetable pizzas yesterday. They sold 3 times as many pepperoni pizzas. How many pepperoni pizzas did they sell? So I have 3 and 5/6 times 3. So I'm changing each of these to the form that they need to be in to multiply. So if I change this 3 and 5, 6, you need to multiply the bottom and add the top. 6 times 3 is 18. 18 plus 5 is 23, and you keep that same denominator, which was 6. Times, I have a whole number, we put a 1 under each of the whole numbers. Then you're back to multiplying. Top times top, bottom times bottom. 6 times 1 is 6. 23 times 3, we might not know off the top of our head, but if you do 20 times 3, you get 60. And if you do 3 times 3, you get 9. So 60 plus 9 is 69. Now, your top number is bigger than the bottom number, so that means that we still have a step or two to do. That means that it is a mixed number. Anytime the top is bigger than the bottom, you are going to have a mixed number as your answer. So how many times does 6 go into 69? That's one of our multiplication facts. 11 times to 66. So 69 minus 66 is 3. Sorry, whoops, 11, 3, keep the same denominator. Can I simplify? Yes, I can, because there is a mystery number that goes into 3 that also goes into 6, which is 3. If you said 2, your brain was thinking ahead. It was thinking ahead, thinking that 3 goes into 6 2 times. Okay, lots of work to be shown on these problems. We're going to do one more problem. So each large pizza at Patsy's is made with 1 1/4 cups of sauce. They use 1 3/4 times as much shredded cheese as they do sauce. How many cups of shredded cheese are on each large pizza? Times. Change both of these. 4 times 1 is 4, plus 1 is 5. I got 5 over 4 times. 4 times 1 is 4, plus 3 is 7. 5 times 7 is 35. 4 times 4 is 16. How many times does 16 go into 35? It only goes one time. So I'm solving out. What is 35 minus 16? I have to borrow 19. Wait a second. Can it go more than one time? It can. So if you get to the part where you have a numerator still bigger than the denominator, you did not choose the biggest number right there. You might run into that when you are on your test if your number's not high enough. That means you need to back up and punt again, okay? That means we need to double check how many times can that number go into 35. If you do not know your 16s, we need to solve that out on the side, okay? That's a scenario you might run into, so we're going to figure out what does that look like. If it's not 16 times 1, it's probably 16 times 2. So 16 goes into 35 2 times. How many left over? 3. Keep the same denominator. That's 16. We cannot simplify that because what numbers go into 3? 1 and 3. Do either one of those numbers help me with 16? No. 1 doesn't help it get any smaller, and 3 does not go into 16. So this week we have attached several different types of word problems. We need you to give your best effort on practicing those, and it will tell you what you got correct and what you got wrong at the end of the problem when you turn it in. So your test will be mostly word problems. So make sure that you are really breaking down these problems and using this extra practice to help you with your test. Okay? Let us know if you have any questions.